Hey, so that was fun. Let's do another one. This time we're gonna do the hero unit or the billboard area that's on the front of the website. So a lot of times, follow me, let's look at this. So a lot of times you've got this main piece to like add some kind of key marketing stuff. What we want, obviously, we want something that communicates that quickly, what you do and why it's special. And you want that to be through the combination of this image and some kind of marketing message. And then you want to invite people to take an action fairly quickly. Some people might want to dig deeper, and some people might want to take action right now. They already know. They've already maybe they've met you or they've met the business owner in person and they want to go and contact them. They want to get started right away. So a lot of times a convention that's used is there's two buttons here right away. So in our example, what we're going to do is we're going to add two buttons in the HTML and maybe a subtitle here. So let's do the subtitle first. We're making the H1 a lit DJ for your wedding, and we'll say for the H2 we'll say we work with you to get your favorite songs played and make sure you have the night of your life. We'll skip the exclamation point because those are a little overused, but we're going to press enter, go down to the next line, and then what we're going to do is say we're going to have a less than sign, a href equals, let's close that one, and let's call it, our portfolio. Close that tag, and then let's do ahref equals, let's close it, and then say get started again. We have that get started up the top for every page on the main nav, and we have get started here on this as well. We should always be asking people to take the next action, otherwise we're kind of not doing the job of the website. This is one of the most common things I see people that are not doing. They're not telling people what action they're supposed to take on their website. So don't be that dummy. Make them take the next action, or give them the option at least, Give them the option. Some people don't know what they're coming to your website for. If you say, here's examples of our work, let's call it that. Let's call it more examples of our work, actually. And then you say get started, they know the two actions that you want them to take. So this first one, let's call it sub CTA, and then we're setting the classes here, right? And then this one we'll call it CTA. I use that as a shorthand for call to action. And then, so we've got the keys that we want there. So the only other thing I want is I want a container to contain all that. So I'm going to add that on either side of this content, and then I'm going to tab out the content. So we have good orderly structure here. The reason I'm leaving these on the same line, this is kind of a taste thing, but I'm leaving them on the same line because I'm planning on styling them to be on the same line. It's kind of a way that I use to give myself a solid HTML structure here. So for the first CTA, we might make the, let's see, what do we want to do here? For the first CTA, we might want to make the background color white, and the color black, sub CTA. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Since a lot of the same things, we have the same items on here, I'm gonna make them both CTA, so they both have some of these attributes, and then the sub CTA. So just put sub CTA on the second one, so then we can make it's kind of the modified version. So we can style both of them with this, and then we'll change a couple attributes for the other one. So in that case, I'm going to say .cta background transparent, color white, border radius 4 pixels, padding 10 pixels, 20 pixels. So we're rounding the edges, and then padding, we're making space around the text. And margin dash right colon 20 pixels, and margin to the top. So we want it to be underneath that second, or that H2 that we have up there. Let's say 30 pixels. Text decoration of none. Border of 1 pixel solid white. So they both have a background transparent, but we're going to add the sub CTA. And then sub CTA. Hover. Let's say background color white. Color S. Save that and see how that looks. Alright, so you can see we've got 2 different versions, and what I'm going to do is we're going to CTA. We're going to add one more attribute here, main CTA. We're going to say background color white, and color is black. And actually what we're going to do for that sub CTA is we're going to change that one over to this mate sub CTA. And then we're going to change this one to main CTA. So we start with this one being kind of this one's kind of the sub one, the examples of our work, and we're making this other one, the main one, starts out as white. So it's a little bit more prominent, so it takes a little bit more visual gravitas because it's just a little bit more in your face. And so obviously the other thing that you might want to do here is to style this H2 a little bit just to make it feel a little less claustrophobic. So margin bottom 60 pixels. And then if we were to maybe make this so it pushes over a little bit more, let's make the max width of that section 500 pixels. So as you can see now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this style and put it into the style sheet. So we've got the, what are we calling this? We're calling it the background div. So what we're going to do is we're going to say background div H2, and we're going to say just that H2. We want to have that. We don't want to style all H2s like that. So for the time being, as you can see, we've got a good start to our hero unit, so to speak, where we've got a title and we've got a subtitle, and then we've got a main call to action and a sub call to action. You know what? It looks a little dry, partly because we don't have solid fonts. So maybe on the next video we'll go over how to add a couple fonts to your code and to make sure that your website looks a little classier. We've got these kind of dry fonts at the moment, so let's take that on as the next challenge. I'll see you at the next video.